everyone, and welcome to TrackMind TV. This is the Spotlight Show, your favorite show, where we highlight talent and giftings. Now, art comes in various forms, and today we get to speak to a beautiful young lady who runs an art business called Bendalo Arts, and she's going to tell us more about it. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Imelda, and as you mentioned, I'm a business owner. I like to call myself a creative, and so I run a business called Bendalo Arts, and pretty much it, yes.
Thank you.
So
tell us, what is Bendalo Arts?
Bendalo Arts is it's a business that runs basically. So I make customized cards and I knit as well. So it's basically a business that focuses on handmade crafts, mainly the knitting and the customized cards. Yeah, so that's basically what Bendalo Arts entails.
That's an interesting combination of arts and crochet.
Yeah.
So why the name Bendalo? It sounds very interesting. I don't know if I can say it's an African name or something, but why the name Bendalo?
It's definitely African. I came up with the name Bendalo because, first of all, Bendalo means natural beauty in one of the languages in South Africa. So I don't know whether to say Kosa or Kosa. It depends on how you want to call it. But earlier on, I developed an interest in that language. And so when I was beginning to think about the future of my business, I came up with a name that kind of signifies maybe Africa at large, because I come from Kenya, but the name is actually a Southern African name. So Bendalo means natural beauty, and so I think it actually signifies both the knitting and both the card making, which in itself just brings out the natural beauty in it. So yeah, so that's how I came up with the name Bendalo. I, of course, had thought about many other African names, but I think that's the one that kind of stood out for me that much. Yes.
I like it.
Thank you.
And I like the story behind it.
Thank you as well.
Now, would you mind telling us your journey from when you realized you could make cards and crochet, how it has been all the way from the beginning until now?
Well, it has been a journey. I began making cards in 2018. So at first I started with the cards, but I think the story goes all the way back to primary, when the interest of giving someone a gift that is more or less unique. And I guess also looking at finances, it's not every single time that I can afford a card to make for a friend. So I'll try and sit down and probably make just small notes and maybe highlight with different colors of pens. And I think from all the way back in primary going to high school, I could figure out that this was a talent, because every time I sit down to do something that I felt was artsy, or I want to make a gift for someone, it came out very, like it could be seen by so many people. So I think, like, just growing up, I kind of focused on that, and definitely it saves me a lot of money, because I don't walk in stores looking for cards and whatnot. Because when I know, like, a friend's birthday is coming up, I just sit down, try to make something that I feel they might relate with. So that's how I came up with starting to make cards. And as for the knitting, there's a lot of time that we had when COVID began. And I think I sat down to just think, what can I do with my hands as I sit down, maybe to listen to podcasts or listen to music. And so the interest of knitting, it was just a random thought, because my mom had been knitting earlier on when we were young, so I tried to just pick it up and I started just like that. Yes.
Did you have to watch some tutorials to wow, and since last year you've been able to make this?
Yes, in fact, I've made as many as I can even remember. I think it was a thing that just came up and immediately just blew up, because I started it as a joke, just to, pass time, just to entertain myself. And then I could find of course, I started with like selling to my family members or friends would be like, oh, did you make that scarf? Please make me one. So just building like that. And I thought, why not add it to my business that is already trying to grow and maybe expand and diversify it. Yeah, so that's how we landed here at making sweaters and all these other things.
And scarves.
Yeah.
So the sweater you're wearing, is it one of your works?
Yes, definitely. And I think it's so exciting to be able to just put on something that I actually made from scratch and it fits, and it's such a good feeling. So yes, I made the sweater and I definitely had to come wearing it so that it is seen. Yes.
It looks so nice.
Thank you.
I'm trying to imagine how it feels to make something that you can wear. Some of us, you just go to the shop, get whatever you want, and you wear it. But for you, you get to experience the work of your hands. That's a really, really, really good job.
Thank you.
So how has the business been since when you started it until now, for both the crocheting and the making of the cards?
I think for both, I have experienced quite a bit of growth, and it might be slow, but it's very, progressive, and every day I keep seeing something different, rather I keep learning some different things, and so I can say that since it began, I have seen quite a lot of growth in both the card making and even the crocheting and the knitting as well, because as I grow, I get to perfect things. I get to learn the mistakes I've made in the previous orders, in the previous cards I've made, in the previous knitting, and so as I go, I keep perfecting the art. Yes.
The business has been
so
growing.
It has been growing. Yes.
In terms of clientele as well, and ideas.
Yes. In fact, when I think sometimes we just need to step out in faith, because for me, when I was beginning all this, I couldn't see the future. Like, I couldn't see the bigger picture of it. I was just like, okay, let's see where this goes. But I think from it, I've gained so much clientele and excellence, and even as I grow, I feel like I get more creative in it, because I have to open my mind to greater ideas. I have to open my mind to very many different things, because again, my clients are from all different, backgrounds, interests, lifestyles. So yes, I have experienced quite a lot of growth. Yeah.
So let's talk about your cards for a minute. Is there a specific theme that your cards focus on?
I would say not quite, because I think the idea of making the customized cards, I look to hear what does the client want. So given that my clients all need different things, like different colors, different themes, so I go with what the client wants, and most of the time I have to develop a whole conversation with the client, maybe know this person that you're getting a gift for, what field are they in, what colors do they like flowers, do they like African. So it's not a specific theme, because I focus on making it very much customized for whoever is ordering for. So yes, not specifically anything. Yeah.
And you make cards for all types of occasions?
Yes, all occasions, be it I'm sorry cards. In fact, I was so surprised by during the Valentine season, I would find that I probably made so many orders of I'm sorry. I'm assuming that something might have happened during the Valentine season. And so with that, I make from thank you cards to I'm sorry cards to just because cards, happy birthday, wedding cards. Yes. So think of anything. That's what I do. Yes. Yes.
So I'm assuming card business is majorly based on your creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you keep your creativity evolving? Taking for example, someone makes an order and they want something you have probably never done. So how do you keep yourself at par in terms of creativity? Yes.
Wow. I would say I try and keep up with like the trends that are in fashion, and I try to open my mind because I use a lot of recycled materials. So then I have to think quite. I have to be very creative, and it has to be very original because again, customers' needs are all different. So whenever I get an order, first I sit down to think what different thing can I do? So I find myself like coming up with very funny and interesting things that I didn't think of earlier. So yeah, I would say that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And is accessibility of material easy? Seeing that, for example, for that card, you've used buttons, you've used African materials. Is the accessibility of materials easy? And have you ever experienced a situation whereby you want to make a card with a certain kind of material, but it's not available?
I have. And in fact, there are times where I even get the material, but it doesn't work as well as it worked in my mind. So I have again to come up with something new. But also accessibility to materials, I would say, is quite a task because I usually say like every time I'm going into maybe like the town center to find materials, I it's like I'm just going to explore what will I get today. I don't go with a like mindset to find this specific thing. I'm very open to finding maybe more interesting stuff, and that's how I land on things like buttons, creative African attire that I can use. I reuse like old gift wrappers. I reuse like book covers, anything that might apply to my idea. So I would say like accessibility to materials depends mostly on also my creativity and openness to whatever I find in the market at the moment. Yes.
Okay. And is this business a competitive business to be in?
I would say yes. In fact, I think in this time and age, there are so many creatives out in the market. Everyone is trying to put out their talent aside from like just the 8 to 5 office jobs. So it can be competitive, but I guess everyone has something for someone. Like you're kind of specifically led to a certain group of people that are not reachable to everyone. So I guess that's the uniqueness of it, being in that field. So I guess maybe yes and no. Yeah.
Plus, I believe we are millions of people in this country. You definitely cannot lack one or two people who like what you do.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about your crochet a little bit. Crochet used to be an in thing back then.
That's
with our
true.
shoshuas knitting for us sweaters and tablecloths and everything. So people say history repeats itself. Would you say that is what is happening? Is crochet making a comeback? Is it here to stay? Is it just a passing hobby?
Wow. I think I want to say it's definitely making a comeback, but as opposed to, I think not many people nowadays still put the, what are they called, the tablecloths and whatnot, but it's definitely making a comeback, and it being a thing of the past. I think I've even made jokes with my friends how, wow, like you've become a shosh now, you're knitting stuff. But I think it's become quite wide now. There are so many people who have developed like a very creative sense of crocheting and knitting. And it actually just blows my mind how beautiful it is, because nowadays you see like anything can be made out of yarn.
Yeah.
You're finding like people in dresses, pants, sweaters,
Very
interesting stuff. Yeah, including swimwear, which is, it just blows my mind. And I think it's making a comeback, and it is here to stay for sure, for sure. It is, yes.
What motivates you to do what you do?
Wow. What motivates me to do what I do? I would say there are three main things that mainly motivate me. And for me, first, I think I stand very strongly in God's word, and even like in my business, I tend to dwell so much in the book of Proverbs 16:3, if I can be allowed to share it. So that word says, commit your plans to the Lord and they will be successful. So basically, that's one thing that motivates me, just delving in God's word and knowing that his promises are true. So I get motivated each and every time I have a goal, I have a dream, because I know it will definitely succeed if I commit it to the Lord. The second thing is my future goals. We all have dreams, and I think sometimes I like to look at my future and think that there's something great there, and if I don't start now, then when will I start? So I keep on thinking about that, and it motivates me to do what I'm doing now for a greater future, and definitely for my children and their children and their children. The third thing I would say would be my family and friends. I think I have been blessed with quite a good circle of friends and family members who have motivated me. They keep checking on me. They're like, oh, where are you at with this project that you are doing? Oh, I saw you meeting this. Where is it now? And even pressure from friends. I also need a sweater. You can't just be looking nice alone. Please get me a sweater. And I think it keeps me going, because in my head, I'm like, oh, people are actually seeing what I'm doing and it's impacting them somehow. It's making them smile. So it motivates me quite a lot to keep going. Yes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So as we wind up, what are your future plans for Bendalo Arts?
Wow. My future plans, I love children, so I've definitely been thinking about doing projects in schools, maybe children's homes, where I can engage children a bit to mix, because I'm sure like there are people who have that hidden talent, and so I would like to maybe explore in terms of going out maybe to make workshops and create a space for mostly children to explore that talent, to be able to just, express themselves in the art way and see what they're capable of. So I would say currently that's my future goal. That's what I'm looking at in the near future, to do such projects. Yes.
Wow. And I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Imelda is going to be making for us a card. If she could, she'd have also crocheted for us an entire muffin or a scarf, but for today she will make for us a card, and I hope you enjoy the process. what kind of card are you making for us today?
So today I'm going to be making a tuxedo card.
Oh.
It's called a tuxedo card because of the shape of how it looks, and it's one of the main orders that I get when someone is ordering for maybe a guy, and so it's just an interesting, simple thing that I do. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today.
So like it's literally going to look like
hopefully. Yes, that is the plan.
Okay, that one I'm excited to see. That's quite creative. Thank you.
So that's basically the main part of the card, and I use like the extra stuff to maybe make a bow tie on the top part. Yeah, which is quite simple.
Okay, now that this one is a tuxedo kind of design, I'm just curious. Is there any other outfit design card that you've made?
Yes, I actually have made. There's an order that I got that was going to a doctor, so I kind of formulated how I can make like the lab coat and maybe like the stethoscope, if that is what it's called. And it came out quite well. I've done a card in jeans. So I kind of cut out material, just like an old pair of jeans, and I came out with a whole, it's called a dangari kind of card. And yeah, I think so far those are the outfit cards that I have made so far. Yes,
That's so unique.
As you can see, it's pretty simple. So
I didn't even know you can make a bow that fast. I was trying to picture how you're going to start. What do
you
you
have to
think?
be creative and fast, very fast, especially when you get, sometimes you get, given that we are Kenyan timers,
Yeah.
you get orders very late in the night and maybe you have to deliver in the morning. You have to think fast and also act fast. So yeah, all I do is just stick it all around and I'll be done in no time.
Has someone ever given you an order, then you took it, they saw it and were like, no, I don't think this is what I wanted?
Not quite, although there has been a couple of times where maybe someone was referred and maybe I would send a couple of samples and then they would change their mind, which I think happens in all fields.
Yeah.
So yeah, some of those times are disappointing, but I guess we also learn to to deal with such cases and just encourage yourself. like it shouldn't be a thing that maybe will stop you from making those orders. Or yeah, so yes. So I guess just to make it a little bit extra, I can add buttons. I have a couple of buttons here. You can just use one and stick it on top. Just like that, you have your tuxedo card.
It looks really good.
Thank you.
Crafts in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Looks really, really good.
Thank you. Yeah. So I guess that's it. Yes.
Thank you so much, Imelda, for gracing us with your presence.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, guys, for keeping it track mind. In case you want a card, you know where to get it. Her Instagram page is Bendalo Arts. Like she said, you don't really have to make a card because it's her birthday or because it's an anniversary. She makes just because cards. You know, when you sit and you feel just because I love this person and to make them a card, please go ahead and order one at Bendalo Arts on Instagram. Let's keep this conversation going on the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel. And until next time, keep it track mind.